I always look at business as a sport. In football, you play 60 minutes. Basketball, you play 48 minutes. In business, it's 24/7 by 365, and the whole world's trying to kick your ass.
Cryptocurrency has steadily climbed plenty of attention and interest in the last few years, with many high-profile key figures proclaiming their own array of digital assets. Aside from Elon Musk, whose opinions seem to affect the outcome of the exchange, there's another self-made billionaire who believes in the evolution of blockchain technology and that companies will have no choice but to shift towards it. We are talking about Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks and one of the main shark investors on the reality TV series Shark Tank. In this video, we're taking a look at what Mark Cuban is saying about cryptocurrency. But before we jump into it, don't forget to click the like button, share, subscribe, and press that notification bell for more updates. Mark Cuban is an American billionaire, entrepreneur, investor, television personality, and media proprietor who owns the professional basketball team Dallas Mavericks of the NBA, the co-owner of media and entertainment company 2929 Entertainment, and is the chairman of Access TV. He's often seen on TV scrutinizing investment pitches as a main shark investor on the ABC reality television series Shark Tank.
The day that Broadcast.com was sold to Yahoo, I think a lot of folks felt like we had hit the lottery twice.
From working as a bartender and a software salesman, the self-made billionaire found his early beginnings when he started his own company, Micro Solutions, a systems integrator and software reseller. The company grew to more than $30 million in revenue, and in 1990, Cuban sold the company to CompuServe for $6 million. In 1995, Mark Cuban founded the video portal Broadcast.com with his fellow Indiana University alum Todd Wagner, which they then sold to Yahoo in 1999 for $5.7 billion of Yahoo stock. And while Broadcast.com and Yahoo's other broadcasting services would later be discontinued after a few years, Cuban has repeatedly mentioned how lucky he was to have sold the company before the burst of the dot-com bubble. Aside from his more known ventures, Cuban has stakes in Magnolia Pictures and a dozen other startups. Cuban is an impact investor who focuses on more social and environmental impacts aside from attaining financial gains, often choosing to invest in mission-driven companies such as Luminade, which provides lighting to disaster-prone areas, and Mommy, a maternal healthcare tech company.
Over the last 20 years, I've always been about what's new, what's next, and how am I getting there first.
And at 62 years old, Cuban is listed as the 655th spot on the richest person in the world list, with his wealth amounting to $4.4 billion. Aside from his businesses, Cuban also has great regard for the developing new technologies with regards to decentralized digital currency. He sees cryptocurrency as one of the new innovations that can create a newer America, or America 2.0 as he considers it. Mark believes that these new innovations will surge coming out of the pandemic and that the world has found itself surviving from. According to Cuban, one of the things that people will look back on and bounce back with is the evolution of blockchain technology and the companies that follow from it. Cuban says what we're seeing right now with this communal effort and the foundation of blockchain-type applications that people stuck at home can use to try to make money just changed the game 180 degrees. He even adds that if you don't understand blockchain, it's going to smack you down and make you bleed. As an investor himself and a shark at that, Cuban is keen at seeing possibilities in the market that aren't usually noticed by most regular people.
He is smart, meaning one of the smartest people. But he also, you could make the argument, was one of the luckiest people in the age of the internet.
As a decentralized digital ledger, blockchain technology, which only has really been in operation for a little over a decade, reminds Cuban of the early days of the internet. It's like the early days of the internet, brand new. No one really knows what it's going to be. There's a lot of projections. Cuban refers to cryptocurrency having similarities much like his early internet company Broadcast.com, saying, "It's got the same feel of the early days of the internet because it took time before bandwidth became available and cheap enough so that streaming and cord cutting could really happen. That was 20 years into the internet, give or take, and we're only 10 to 12 years into crypto after starting with Bitcoin. So there's a long way to go, and there will be a lot of companies that won't work, but you're going to get some winners." Cuban himself has found some winning strides banking into cryptocurrency. In April of 2021, Cuban explained that Dogecoin phenomenon on the daytime talk show Ellen, where he described the hype meme coin saying, "a whole lot better of an investment than a lottery ticket."
Our first guest is the outspoken owner of the Dallas Mavericks basketball team, and you can also watch him every week on ABC's Shark Tank. Please welcome Mark Cuban.
Hey, guys.
Cuban explained to Ellen DeGeneres that cryptocurrency is just an asset to invest in. Bitcoin is kind of like a digital version of gold. Ethereum is a digital version of a currency. And then you have Dogecoin, which is just fun. But the weird part about it is that it went from being a cryptocurrency joke to now becoming something that's becoming a digital currency. He even mentioned that his 11-year-old son Jake is involved with Dogecoin, having bought around $30 worth of the Shiba Inu-inspired parody crypto. Cuban considers Dogecoin as a good introduction to cryptocurrency, saying, "Overall, when someone brings up Dogecoin to you and asks you if it's a good investment, I wouldn't say it's the world's best investment, but it's a whole lot better than a lottery ticket, and it's a great way to learn and start understanding cryptocurrencies." Now, it is important to note that during the time Cuban made this comment on The Ellen Show back in April, Doge was experiencing a 40% price surge, which brought up its popularity and price, amounting to a 14,000% annual gain, bringing up the Doge as the fourth largest cryptocurrency in the world at the time, before settling back to sixth place after recent crashes in value.
Cryptocurrency is just an asset to invest in. Bitcoin is kind of like a digital version of gold. Ethereum is a digital version of a currency.
In terms of Cuban's own cryptocurrency portfolio, he has admitted to breaking down his allocation into 60% Bitcoin, 30% Ethereum, and 10% of the rest. Cuban has held on to the few digital coins that he allegedly has, which he bought in the early days of crypto. Bitcoin currently is the largest cryptocurrency by market value, but appeals to Cuban more as a store of value rather than a currency. Cuban talks about Bitcoin saying, "Back in 2012, people said Bitcoin is a currency, and I'm like, it's not going to work. But the entire time, I said it was a store of value, or if you could get people to believe that it was a better alternative than gold because of its algorithmic scarcity, then the price is going to go up." He believes that Bitcoin is a better alternative to gold and will continue to be, which is why he owns some Bitcoin and has held onto them since then. He also admits to being very interested in Ethereum, the second largest crypto, mainly because of the smart contracts that run on the Ethereum blockchain network. Smart contracts are collections of code that carry out a set of instructions and run on the blockchain, making it more secure and totally decentralized.
The thing about NFTs is they're just digital collectibles. Don't think about the technology at all. It's just one more thing to collect, only it happens to be digital.
Cuban considers Ethereum as being more of a currency, saying, "I own a lot of Ethereum because I think it's the closest thing to a true currency. What really changed everything was smart contracts. That created DeFi, or decentralized finance, and NFTs, non-fungible tokens. That's what changed the game. That's what got me excited. That's why it's a lot like the internet." Cuban believes that Ethereum is adaptable over time as developers continue to improve on its current capabilities. And while Cuban may have more Bitcoin than he does everything else in more recent times, Cuban has changed his views on Bitcoin and believes that Ethereum will eventually dwarf Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency space. In late 2019, Cuban made headlines when he said he'd rather have bananas than Bitcoin and called crypto too complicated. Now, as Bitcoin and the overall cryptocurrency market has gone past the $2 trillion mark, Cuban has revealed his preference of Ethereum, praising the emerging DeFi space, and believes that Ethereum's long-awaited 2.0 upgrade will spark the development of applications that can dwarf the biggest crypto on the planet. Speaking to journalist Laura Shin on her Unchained podcast, Cuban reiterated his views on Bitcoin, saying, "Bitcoin right now has evolved to be primarily a store of value, and it's very difficult to use it for anything else."
Somebody has got to be the luckiest person in the world. Somebody's got to be, right?
It's you.
And I'm just glad it's me.
You really have to work a lot harder on Bitcoin than you do on Ethereum. Cuban believes that Ethereum's expected upgrades is going to give people a reason to use Ethereum as a store of value over Bitcoin, and will also provide the consistent usage and price surges it needs to close the gap and eventually move beyond Bitcoin's immense $690+ billion market cap. Cuban also added that in a few years, "I think Ethereum and maybe 2 or 3 other blockchains will have their place, and those will be the winners." He also clarified that while he's still not about to sell the Bitcoins that he has made it a point to own a lot more Ethereum than Bitcoin, contrary to his original declaration. Cuban has actually pushed more availability for crypto transactions, such as having his Dallas Mavericks basketball team store accepting crypto such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin as payment for merchandise purchases. Considering that Cuban may have been one of the vocal non-believers on the practicality of cryptocurrency, his complete 180 on digital currencies reflect the common person's sentiment on the issue. Cuban actually said it best when he summarized his thoughts on cryptocurrency by saying, "For cryptocurrency to be money, it would have to be so easy to use, it's a no-brainer. It would have to be completely friction-free and understandable by everybody first. So easy, in fact, that even grandma could do it." Now, we definitely agree, Mark. We definitely agree. What do you think about what Mark Cuban is saying about cryptocurrency? We'd love to hear what you think, so comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more.